Welcome back to a Master and Apprentice podcast. Today we're gonna be doing a what if. We're starting the what if series. Today's what if is what if Anakin had stayed at the temple when Mace Windu had went to confront Palpatine. When Anakin told Mace Windu that Palpatine said that he was, you know, Darth Sidious, the Sith Lord. Um, Mace Windu had told him to stay at the temple. And today's what if is what if Anakin actually had stayed. Um, and we're gonna have two outcomes. I'm gonna be doing an outcome, and Athens gonna be doing an outcome, and we'll banter back and forth. It kind of is going off of we didn't really know if Sidious was truly fighting Mace Windu or if he was acting weaker for Anakin to like save him, to make himself the victim. Um, in the case that, he does make himself the victim and Anakin doesn't show up, Athen will be going over that scenario. And in the case that he wasn't victimizing himself, I'll go over that scenario. So Athen's going to get right into the scenario. I haven't heard him. He's going to tell me what he thinks is going to happen, then we're going to talk about it.
So, yeah, basically it's Palpatine beats Mace Windu in this battle, and I mean, I don't know if Sammy picked the. I mean, well, I know that he didn't pick it because he thought that. This is personally what I do think would have happened. I do think that Palpatine was downplaying his power and that he wanted to push Anakin to a decision point, but that's not the point. So, um, I personally think that first thing he does is he tries to recruit Anakin because I mean he already had obviously put that plan in place in putting the mistrust in Anakin, just telling he obviously put that plan in place, and I think that he'd at the bare minimum try and finish that. And if he succeeds and takes Anakin as his apprentice, then I mean it pretty much picks up where it left off with very little. I mean he picks up Anakin, and I mean a couple of things are delayed, but I mean I don't see much different happening in the saga if Palpatine just killed Mace Windu and then recruited Anakin. And then if he fails to recruit him, I think that there's a couple outcomes that could happen from here. So if he fails, I think he tries to either recruit someone else in the Jedi Temple, like either panicking, or he just tries to kill them all and then gets a holocron, or tries to obtain a holocron and force someone to open it to find all the force sensitive children to recruit one of them, or he's just out an apprentice and he's looking for one and all that. Now, in my opinion, Anakin he played a huge role in doing all this, but Palpatine could have carried out exactly what Anakin did without Anakin's help. He pretty much used Anakin, except for maybe a little here and there.
Can
I
I ask
think
a,
that
can I ask a
go
question?
go
So let's say, he kills Mace Windu. Does he still enact Order 66? Because that's a very important detail.
exactly. So I think that he goes and either contacts the Kaminians to do Order 66 or does it right then and there. Another possible point of failure is do the clones kill him? Because what if Mace Windu told everyone, all right, we're going to go arrest Sidious? I don't think that the clones could really kill Sidious, knowing that Sidious is as powerful as he is. But I mean, that would be a really big turning order if everyone all simultaneously turned on Sidious. But I mean, I don't think that was the case, as after after who is it? Windu fails to kill Sidious. He walks out and no clones kill him. So I don't think that's the situation. I think Order 66 would be successfully executed in any situation if Sidious survives. But anyway, the only thing that could really prevent his rise to power, in my opinion, is Anakin himself. Like, I think that he could do just about everything he did with Anakin without Anakin. A couple here and there was easier with him, but I think that he could do the same thing. So the only thing that prevent him from doing the same thing and just trying to go out and find another apprentice is Anakin. So I rewatched a little point, and obviously it said that he needed to wait in the council chambers. Is exactly what Mace Windu said. You need to go wait in the council chambers, whatever. So I looked up who Darth Vader killed in the Jedi Temple, and the three main Jedi were Terra Sanube, Sindralig, and Jocasta. So
Yeah,
Sindralig,
Shakti wasn't there.
Shakti, Shakti was there too.
Because Shakti is pretty important. She's one of
She
the
was.
council members, so
I
I don't
I, I
I didn't
forgot
know
she
that
was
was
there.
I don't remember if that was Legends or not because
I'm pretty sure she was there.
okay.
So thanks for adding that. So I mean personally, I see myself if Anakin is in there, he's having a stroke talking to himself. So I think he's gonna find someone else, or someone's gonna find him, or something. I feel that Palpatine, if he fit, is going to try to recruit Anakin, and the only way that he fails is if Anakin's not alone. And I think that's if one of these four people are with him. Jocasta, I looked into her. She's just overly a very smart Jedi. Syndraulic is very tactical, looks at things from he's a tactician. He looks at things from a very tactical perspective and all that. And Terry Sanube is just a very wise Jedi and all that. And he just really, I mean, that's how he was played in the Clone Wars, but in Legends and in everything else he's in, he's just acts the same exact way. So no real difference there. But I personally think that Anakin would have acted the same way or very similarly, because if it was just Palpatine that confronted him and no one else came with him, so and Shakti, I forgot to add Shakti there because I didn't put her in my notes, but I think Shakti, she's smart, insightful, and slow. I mean, I feel that Anakin would have had to be with someone else for him to turn down uh, Sidious's uh,
Awesome.
thing. And the only way for him to survive is if he both turns it down and is with someone that can kill
Well,
Sidious with their help, in my opinion.
okay. So I'm gonna you can do the same thing at the end when I explain mine. I'm gonna like kind of like, you know, talk about whatever you just said. To be honest, I don't see Palpatine turning Anakin because Anakin didn't go to the temple. I mean, go to like if the reason he went with like he went to go see if Palpatine was okay is he didn't trust Mace Windu, but he also didn't trust Palpatine. That's why he told Mace Windu, right?
Yeah,
So if he didn't go, that means, I mean, he was leaning towards Mace Windu. And in the movie, we see he's leaning a little bit towards Palpatine, but in this what if scenario, he's leaning the other way, right? So already he's leaning a bit towards Mace Windu. And in the case that Palpatine actually kills Mace Windu, now he has even more room to like, well, he is too evil. He's killing the Jedis that, raised me up. So now he's not as angry, right? Because his anger was very high when he saw Mace Windu fighting Palpatine, but he's not as angry now because he didn't see that. He didn't see Mace Windu fighting Palpatine, so he's not as angry. He's a lot more even-headed. And then if he sees that Palpatine killed Mace Windu, he's not going to trust Palpatine as much anymore. So I feel like that's the scenario it would go, to be honest. I mean, obviously it's a what if, so you can out either one. And Order 66 happens. I agree. There's nothing we could have really done there. I think that was inevitable. A lot of it was inevitable. I don't think Palpatine's gonna. I mean, I think the clones are still gonna attack the temple, and a lot of Jedi are gonna die. But Anakin is just. I don't know. I feel like he's too powerful. With Shakti and Syndraulic still at his side, I feel like the Jedi Temple still stood a chance, but most of the Padawans and most of them would die. I just feel like that's how it is because Anakin's too dumb. If Palpatine went with the clones, I could see everyone dying and the event still playing out the same way.
yeah,
Obi-Wan and Yoda running away.
that's what I was
Fighting.
thinking.
But if he doesn't go to the temple, I feel like because he might not go to the temple, he might be like, well, Anakin didn't come to try to save me. Obviously, doesn't care that much, you know. So if he doesn't go to the temple to execute Order 66, I feel like the story changes very differently.
Yeah, I just completely assumed he goes to the temple because he sent Anakin to go to the temple. So I thought that, in my opinion, I thought that he didn't trust the clones to kill everyone in the temple, and he wanted to
Well,
have someone that could do it themselves. So
in
I assumed he would go in himself. But if he didn't go in, that would totally change everything again.
in the books, it says that Palpatine didn't send Anakin to the temple because he didn't trust the clones to do it themselves, but more or less because he needed Anakin to subside truly into the dark side by killing the people he loved and raised him, by killing children. He knew it was kind of like more or less of a test or, like a subduction. Like he wanted Anakin to fully subside to the dark side.
Yeah,
The way to
that
do
makes
that
more sense.
was kill innocent Jedi. It wasn't because he didn't trust the clones.
Huh?
The
I get
clones
that.
still probably could have killed most. I mean, I'm sure Anakin helped. make it a lot easier for the clones. But
Yeah,
so
I
that's
don't know.
kind of how I see that playing out.
That totally makes sense now because why would he send him in there like that?
Yeah,
But
that's how that book I was reading, the Revenge of the Sith book, is pretty or
novelization.
Dark. I don't remember which book it is. Maybe the Dark Darth Vader book. Either way, it's that's pretty much what it's saying. Um, for my um scenario is I think Mace Windu really was powerful enough. I know it kind of makes him seem like, oh, he's even more powerful because he killed the most powerful thing. It's not necessarily true. I think he would have killed him just because Palpatine is very arrogant and he would have killed three Jedi right away. And he would have been very arrogant and thinking, well, I can take this guy on. And, Mace Windu is, let's just say that he actually did kill him. So then he actually does kill Palpatine. He gets arrested and he has to get tried because you just killed the Supreme Chancellor. Um, and in that case, when he gets tried, I don't see him coming out innocent anyway because the Senate doesn't care about the Force and the Sith. It's just a bunch of religion and hoaxy stuff. So he gets tried and he gets put in prison. So that happens. The rest of the Clone Wars play out, and Kenobi still kills Grievous. Order 66 never happens. Um, because Palpatine can't enact it. So we don't have to worry about 90% of the Jedi dying. I mean, there's three Jedi that went with Mace Windu still died. Um, which then I think they offer Anakin a seat at the, Jedi Council because they lost three Jedi High Council members, and Anakin just kind of passed, not really a test on purpose, but kind of a test, like, hey, I didn't secede to the dark side. I didn't go help my best buddy, Like I
Yeah,
listened to Mace Windu, who everyone knows he's not very fond of Mace Windu, but he still listened to him and stayed in the temple. And so I think they offer him a seat, but to be honest, I think he pulls an Ahsoka. This is how I see it because he's a lot level-headed. He stays at the temple, but he sees that the Jedi kill Palpatine without a trial, and so he declines the offer. And I feel like he would leave the temple and he would marry, not marry. He would live and run away with, what's her name, Padme,
Padme.
and they'd have their children. And I think with that. I think that's kind of just that's how it is. The Clone Wars end. He has his kids. I think he doesn't let his kids join the temple. If he does, then they have. I think they both go to the temple, but the Empire would never come to power because obviously Palpatine is dead. The clones never kill the Jedi. Anakin leaves the temple. But that's kind of it necessarily. And Mace Windu is no longer part of the council. He's in prison because he killed a Supreme Chancellor.
Yeah,
And I see, just a senator becoming the next chancellor.
yeah.
So it's not crazy different.
I got one thing that I thought I was thinking about your scenario for a little bit, and I was thinking if Mace Windu killed Chancellor Palpatine, then the Master is dead. Dooku's already dead because the apprentice died in the beginning, right?
Yeah,
And so Order 66 wouldn't have been done. But then I was thinking, why would the Kaminoans not push out Order 66?
because there's no need for them to do that.
So,
They're still making clones. It's not like the Clone Wars end necessarily. I mean, the Clone Wars technically end because the leadership is gone, but you have to think. I mean, I didn't really go into detail because you just kind of brought it up. If Anakin doesn't, he doesn't turn to the dark side, all of the leaders of the Separatists that he goes to kill in Mustafar are still alive.
yeah.
So there's still a small leadership of the Separatists. The Clone Wars I feel like it would end because the big leadership is gone, but there's still a Nuke Gunray and all of these guys. They're still alive, so the Separatists aren't completely out. So the clones are not over completely yet. The Kaminoans don't want it to end. They making money off of this. And
Yeah.
as for the Sith, yes, technically they would be over, but the Sith always have a way of coming back somehow.
Maul would probably do some weird crap, or I know
I
he's
feel
dead at
like
this point, right?
no, he wouldn't be dead
No, he wouldn't. Yeah.
because that's during the
Yep. That's
the
that's Rebels.
Mandalore.
Yep.
So Maul would still be alive. it'd be a very different outcome. It would change everything. I don't. It would just be a lot more peaceful if Mace Windu actually killed him because um Anakin wouldn't be there. Mace Windu, like pretty much all the hotheads and people who have the most impact are gone.
Yeah,
I actually, uh, mm, yeah, I just feel like it wouldn't change too much of like Yoda would still be there, Kenobi would still be there, most of the characters would be there. Some of the main ones, obviously, Anakin wouldn't be there. Obviously, the story changes, but it's not like everyone dies kind of a thing. Like your scenario, if Anakin, turns to the dark side, pretty much everyone dies.
yeah, yeah. If Anakin turns to the dark side in my scenario, I mean, the story carries out, in my opinion, almost exactly how it would have
And
without him
I feel like
killing.
if, although it's fun to think of like Palpatine doesn't go and Anakin defends the temple, I feel like he defends the temple and defends it until Kenobi comes back and Yoda comes back because there's still a couple of Jedi that survive.
Yeah, and I mean, I
And
don't know.
they don't have to put a beacon out to the Jedi like, hey, don't come here, go in hiding. They can put a beacon out like, hey, all Jedi come here, defend the temple.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
so the Jedi Order isn't over, even if the clones still act. But if Sidious comes, Anakin's not as powerful yet. He's not on the dark side. So I feel like he would kill all of them. He would destroy all of them.
yeah, because I mean, I personally think that Sidious would come because he sees Anakin as either a threat or an opportunity. And I mean, he already planted that opportunity, but I do see whenever you mentioned how Anakin didn't come, he didn't believe in this opportunity or whatever. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot of just seeing how much Sidious was really pulling the strings on the whole Clone War on both sides.
Yeah. And if he does subside Anakin, he's like, your wife's gonna die. And Anakin's like, fuck, yeah, I gotta join. Then pretty much nothing really changes. Mace
Yeah.
Windu still dies. The Empire still comes to rise. Most of the Jedi are dead. So nothing really changes if he does subside Anakin to the dark side. But if he
Hmm.
doesn't, a lot changes. And if he does kill Anakin and the temple, then that means Yoda and Kenobi can attack Palpatine. And if that happens, I don't know what would happen because Yoda almost beat Palpatine. He just got very unlucky because that one time he fell and lost the high ground, that was it. He got unlucky and fell. But it wasn't like he was losing the fight. He just got unlucky, lost his footing and fell.
Yeah.
And if he had Kenobi, I mean, Kenobi's not even close to the same level. And Yoda even says, like, if you go to attack Sidious, he will kill you. But Kenobi and Yoda, I feel like Kenobi stands a chance. He's very good at defending. Like
I
we,
think Yoda and just about anyone else. I mean, Kenobi's a great mention because he's a great supporting role in something like that, where Yoda needs some help here, or Palpatine's attacking Yoda, and then just I don't know. At the bare minimum, he could be a great distraction. I mean, not saying that.
I
Uh,
I know what you mean.
yeah,
Like it would make Sidious have to look more than one, direct his power to one person. He'd have to direct it to two people.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think Yoda could overcome that, but it is really interesting because I mean, you brought up a couple points that I didn't even think of when I was thinking the whole thing.
Yeah. But pretty much it would be the end of the Clone Wars because like with Grievous dying, there's not much leadership. Like Newt Gunray wasn't really even in it for the war. He is just like, he's this greedy corporate business leader. And so he would probably stay in it for maybe like a month or two left. But after seeing like there's no way to win and his backup, like the one person who was helping him pull his strings is dead, he would pull out of the war. Like the Clone Wars wouldn't last more than a month or two after that.
Yeah, not at the most. And
No.
I mean, well, Sidious was very what's the word? Low key, not low key, but he wasn't really. Oh yeah, here's my address if you ever need to contact me. He was all like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you will hear from me at this point in time," and then he'll talk to them and give them the next further instructions. So honestly, I bet you the Clone Wars could go another week or two without them even knowing that he died.
True. No, no, I kind of misspoke when I said like if they did kill Mace Windu, and I said the Clone Wars would be over. It wouldn't end just straight away because, like I
Oh yeah,
said, the Separatist leaders would still be alive. But like the clones are just better. Like I know in our army thing, we said that the Droid army is like one of the best armies, if not the best. But that's with good leadership. Newt Gunray is a terrible leader.
Yeah, and not
Dooku's
everyone
a
can be
smart
like an
leader.
Admiral Trench.
Yeah. And like I said, it could last a couple more months, but like without people pulling the strings and most of the Jedi still alive, and they don't have to worry about the Sith because they, killed Sidious, then they don't have anything to worry about. They can direct all of the power to ending the war.
And frankly, who is it? The Sidious was pretty much keeping the Separatists in the war. Like, if I remember correctly, when Anakin was going to kill the Separatists were like, "Oh, I can't recall exactly what they were saying, but I feel like they were wanting out of the war at some point in time. The Separatists didn't exactly want this either; they just wanted to win." And
Well, they wanted to secede. Pretty much, they were greedy bastards, right?
yeah, they
The
just want
separatists,
profits.
most of the separatists are either, most of them are like outer rim planets and like corporate businesses that are trying to be greedy and put like a tax on like different hyperlane routes and things like that, hyperspace
Mm-hmm.
routes. Pretty much I don't know exactly how the wording is, but the Republic wanted like you guys can't do that. It's greedy. It's not fair to the rest of the outer rim who are poor, and so they didn't like that and they wanted to secede from the Republic, and that's what most of it was about. But if they see like they're not going to win at all, they're not going to stay in the war. But
Mm-hmm.
they did because they had leadership that was smart enough to keep them in the war and keep them having a fighting chance, and B because Sidious also had separate plans.
Yeah.
But with them seeing they lost their just two most powerful leaders, and the war is not going in their way because at that point in time the war is not going that way. The siege of the Outer Rims is like them trying to you know fight. It's like kind of like D-Day in a sense. It's like, all right, we're going into your land now, right? Like most of the half of World War II was Germany and Russia going into like, the Allies, right?
Yeah.
Most of the beginning of the war was what's it called? The separatists going into the Republic and getting plans to secede or, quit the Republic and join the separatists. But by the end of the war, it was kind of the same thing as World War II, where, they're like, all right, the tide is changing. We're coming to kick your ass now.
Yeah.
And that's why it worked for Palpatine so easy. Like he had played it very well. Like, all right, the war's coming to an end. All the separatists are dead. You guys need an empire because everyone's under one control now. But with him dead, it would pretty much just resume the Republic because everyone wanted a Republic, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The
And
Republic was good. It
so
worked.
it worked to a sense, but most people
Yeah.
still wanted the Republic. That's why the rebellion was such a big fight because people didn't like the Empire.
Yeah.
So and that wouldn't change. The Clone Wars would come to an end. A lot of the Jedi, the main Jedi, like half of the Jedi High Council would be dead because Anakin would be gone. Mace Windu would be gone. Either he died or he'd be gone, and the other three would be gone.
Yeah.
So it's kind of how I saw that working.
Yep. So I mean, that's I don't know. I
So
think that's about it.
either everything changes or either nothing changes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, my scenario, it's very possible that literally the exact same thing plays out.
Yeah, very possible.
And then
Just
in your
just different.
scenario, it's happily ever after as possible.
Yeah,
Maybe
which,
not
which
happily
is
ever after,
why
but
which is why I put yours at the beginning because like yours is very most both ways. It's very possible that a lot of death still happens. My
yeah,
way, mostly no one dies still, which is
pretty
nice.
much. Yeah. I mean, the only horrible thing that really happens is the fact that Mace Windu is probably locked in a prison cell forever, which sucks. He's an awesome character. He's a genuinely good person. But I
Yeah,
mean, that one person going to jail for the rest of their lives to prevent the
wouldn't
Clone
change the
Wars.
galaxy.
Yeah, and I bet you anything, if he knew the outcomes, he'd be more than good with it.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, if you like this, what if? Please let us know because this is our first time doing it, and I mean, I kind of had fun doing this, just talking Star Wars and you know, recreating a different story in our own minds and talking about it. It's fun. So let us know either in the comments if we put this on YouTube or in the podcast. I think you can still comment, but if you can't, go to our YouTube channel and comment.
Same name, Master and Apprentice Podcast.
Yep. Otherwise, hit that subscribe and like, or hit that follow and notification bell. We'll be putting more podcast material out to get it started and running pretty good. YouTube will be putting some stuff out too, so be on the lookout for all of that. Um, I think that's it. Anything else, Afton?
That's about it.
All right. Have a good day, and we'll see you. Bye.
Bye.